What's up, people? Josh, JRM Productions here, and I'm again with...
Perry Nico.
That's not your name.
Yes. Here with Anthony and Nico now.
And you're from...
Cyprus.
I meant...
Oh, what?
770.
Oh,
I said, like, hey, cut.
Oh, you're going to ask me.
Alright.
I think it.
And today I'm joined by...
Anthony Nicolau.
Are you ever going to say 770 Production?
Oh, yeah.
Go on, man.
Anthony Nicolau from 770 Prods.
And we're going to be breaking down some videos. Why would you fucking do that? We're going to be breaking down a music video that we actually done together.
Yeah.
Should be a good one.
Mm-hmm.
This was in 2023.
Yeah.
It was for our friend Camillo, also known as C Millie. Please go check him out. I'll put his link in the description. And yeah, we were behind his first official music video. He'd done some visualizers up until that point. And I said to him, look, I know someone who's a great videographer. Yeah. That would be Anthony. What was your first thoughts when I brought it to you?
No, I was like, at first, I think I enjoyed the initial ideas you put together. I was just driving somewhere in central London, and then I just stopped on the side because we had a FaceTime call to talk about ideas put together. That was fun. That's about it. Just excited for it.
Also, just as a heads up, we have not watched this back in a while. So, yeah, so it would actually be kind of cool for us as well to watch it back and think, you know, how far we've come and, you know, what was cool. And yeah, let's get into it. I remember this shot was one I was pretty adamant on. And then obviously you were behind the text.
Yeah. The editing of this is quite fun. I've just noticed the sky is purple. Yeah. That was natural as well.
So hot bars come so fuego, but that back to the Hasta Luego. I got the jazz, no más San Diego. Wanna hit Vanna and I wanna hit Legos.
Yeah, so just on that first bit, I remember as we were like walking around trying to figure out where would be best. I mean, I suggested this location. I grew up near the area, so I kind of knew it was a great spot in terms of it had a great city skyline. And when we were doing the walkthrough, I remember saying to Anthony, I was like, first shot, like, we've got to have it him walking up, right? And I remember you at the time, you were like, oh, I don't know. And I said to you, I was like, trust me, we've got to have this as the first shot. Yeah. And I think actually looking back, I think it is very cool. The way he walks into shot,
nice,
all one shot.
He said she liked my tracks. I said that's cap. You just like
yeah, the that's cap was something you were very
I like the whole I like the text behind people, or you see in thumbnails now. Text is always put behind someone.
3D text,
half the sentence is behind someone, so I kind of like that.
Yeah, I think that holds up to this day. That was something you were very adamant about on like the WhatsApp chats we were having. Like, you were like, when he says that's cap, I want to do like a vision. And I was like, I was like, yeah, go for it. Like,
and then the whole popping him out like it's going to the next scene. I love this.
That shot, if we rewind it right there, the reverse of that, I remember this went through like, I think we had 3 versions, right? Where you edited it and then sent back, edit it. Yeah. And I remember this was like in the very first version you done this, and I remember saying, I was like, oh, that looks so cool. Yeah. Which was this shot here, the and then into that,
I love to see it like popping out in the slow mo part behind him, or the blur like following him. That looks cool to me.
Yeah. And if I'm remembering correctly, this is the end of this location. You always remember. I remember there was early discussions of, do we want different locations spliced into the whole video, or do we want location? Yeah. I think this was where we differed. If I remember rightly, earlier in the process, you wanted to do like, you know, just best shot for that bar, whereas I was very much like, I think we should do location, and
I first was like daylight, and then night, daylight, night. Then we changed it completely.
Right, and I think a large part of that was because of the, you know, the change from daylight to night might have been a bit too stark in some of the shots, especially because of the time of year. This was January we shot it in the UK, so it was dark in the second half of the video, and I just thought that's a bit too contrasting. But that's one of the great things about working with like your friends, is that you can have those conversations and like.
It's not awkward.
Yeah, I feel like sometimes when you work with people you don't know, obviously you're always respectful no matter what, but you have to be a bit more reserved, whereas I think we got our points across very well on this one, which was for the benefit of the shoot.
Exactly.
Blunts
I
on
love
blunts, couldn't
Mental.
care about health. Thoughts on thoughts, but they
My
stay
editing
withheld.
was top 10
Like
in
rain
life.
is when I drop last stop.
Okay,
Get so
well,
low, but I still
show
look up. Time goes slow when you feel so
Going into
rough.
the night part, this was a location I
Said
pitched
time
as a
goes slow
bridge
when you feel
above a
so
motorway.
rough.
Yeah.
I
Some
thought
good
it
car
great
won't stop
visuals.
writing. Baby steps, but you know man's climbing.
See that
Call it
little
luck, but I
bitches,
call it
little
timing.
like
Feel that
ghost.
heat,
That's
but I still
the
keep
ghost
climbing.
part for me looks the best in the night scene.
Yeah.
Way better than the night
And if I
scene.
pause it right here, this
Can't stop
even
me,
something
can't
so
stop me.
simple as just a shot of him facing camera with his two boys behind, because of the way the moon was situated, like, you know, sometimes you just don't need to do too much.
Yeah.
The shot is the shot. You
Yeah.
know, like obviously your effects are great and stuff, but like sometimes like a shot just looks great.
Yeah.
And in my opinion, that shot right here where he's walking up the bridge, I just think, yeah, that worked.
Green light.
The song was in our heads for the longest time.
Yeah.
That's one thing. Yeah,
Everyone, remember the listening party when that part came in? It was going gas.
yeah. I'll try find some clips from
Yeah.
the listening party and I'll put them on right now. But
Yeah.
yeah, we done a listening party for it, and there was certain parts of the video where everyone was like audibly like,
Yeah.
"Oh, that's sick," and that just gives you a different type of pride.
Exactly, yeah. I always overthink as well. So I'm like redoing it, edit, redoing it, while spending a long time on it. And then to hear everyone's reaction, like in person instead of like just seeing comments, I think it's a very nice feeling inside.
Right here, this was something I was very adamant about, which was at each location have a slow zoom of him just staring into the distance that we could match
Yeah.
with the different locations, and I just think it looked nice, which went into your effect.
That's my favorite part. Bro.
And if we pause it right here on the fire, so
the
this is problems.
fire.
The fire was
Clearly
creative.
illegal. Sorry.
Listen, we can't confirm nor deny. But what the fire was a very specific creative request from Camilo. That was the one thing he said, guys, I want this.
Yeah.
Like, he was very much like, you two know what you're doing, suggest stuff to me, and but the one thing he said to us was he wants
Yeah.
to be in a heart of fire. So immediately me and Anthony are like, well, that's going to be hard to
Yeah.
do.
100%.
So, long story short, we get the stuff for the day and it went awfully. So, what we ended up doing was a week later, we had to plan, and that was, to be fair, that was the only thing we reshot.
Yeah.
That was the only shot we had to reshoot, which was great.
Yeah.
Then we came back next week, different location, different alteration in how we lit it.
Yeah.
And I think we also wanted to make sure it was safe, so we couldn't just have a massive ring of fire,
Exactly.
which would have been like real cool. But I think we've done the great mix of it was visually good,
Yeah.
but also safe.
Yeah.
No one was
yeah.
harmed or anything like that. We put it out safely. And
Yeah, the second try of getting this to work was way better. We tried to make it as safe as possible as well, so nothing catches on fire. If I'm not wrong, it was all on concrete. There was
Yeah.
grass close, but nowhere.
Yeah,
near,
yeah,
so
no, we
were
made
doing
sure
it.
it was safe for everyone involved,
Exactly.
and that's obviously one of the main things when you're on a shoot is health and safety.
There you go.
And the way the shot looked, if you remember, I don't know if I have the raw footage of when I'm doing it, but I was recording for behind the scenes on my phone,
Yeah,
and you were on the camera,
of course, yeah.
and I was doing my behind the scenes going around, and I'm like, this is so
This
cool.
is sick,
I'm
yeah.
like, this looks great. And
I'll be so for real, yeah. When I'm recording it, when it's dark, number one, you have to have a really good lens to actually shoot in the dark. I had the basic lens, but then I'm like recording, it looks good, and I'm like, how's this actually gonna look in the dark and a bit fire? We need a bit more light in here. And it ended up turning out really good. I thought it was gonna be quite what's it called, distorted, but it didn't end up being like that. It was just good quality. And a bit of colour grading, and then it was fun. It looks so good.
and the way the fire's reflecting on him, it was great.
It was. And that part was amazing. And the whole like 3D tracking images, like I've always wanted to like implement that in the video. So when I got the chance to, in dark it looks so much better than daylight. I think I've done a clip in daylight and it was all like dead. But the one in the night scene, for me it looked perfect. It could have been slightly, a little edited better, but I put some motion blur on the Polaroid pictures. The 3D tracking to me, I just really enjoyed editing stuff like that. And I really wanted this part of it. So I just think it looked cool to me.
No, 100% agree. And he liked it as well.
Yeah,
that
yeah.
was the main thing. Yeah, and as we come into the end here, this is something again I was very adamant about,
Yeah.
which was the him deliver the last bar,
Yeah.
turn around, phase up to the moon.
Again, 3D letters.
Yeah.
I don't forget here. I added a planet. Like I said, I love 3D tracking, so I created this planet like a moon or Mars lookalike, whatever colour it was, grey or
Yeah.
red. I added it in like to replace the little tiny moon that you see right there. You probably see it on screen, and then it was tracking the whole time, so it looked quite cool. But then obviously Camilla didn't really want that, so we
Yeah.
took it out. Do you remember that now?
Right,
Yeah.
yeah. Because I was literally about to say like he loved it, and I was trying to think, was there anything he changed? That was something he changed.
Yeah.
That was, I think there was there was like a couple things where it was like just like slight tweaks, but there, in terms of like changes,
Yeah.
I remember you done that, and you worked real hard.
Yeah.
You worked really hard on it.
I was spending quite a while because something like that takes a bit to render. So the 3D planet number 1 took long to render, and then adding that planet into After Effects and into Premiere Pro and then tracking it is long. But
Yeah, I remember you done it, and I was like, yeah, I like that. But the main thing is, you know,
a few pointers: get rid of some transitions, get rid of that moon. At
that
the
I
end,
remember. I think you called me. Like he asked me to get rid of the moon. But ultimately, what the artist wants is what
Yeah,
is
exactly.
most important.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just one of them things you live and you learn. You know, perhaps next time. Obviously, you were starting out. Maybe you could have done a bit more of a simple one,
Yeah,
just in case you didn't like it. But ultimately, Camilla was happy with the video.
100%.
I believe it is his best performing video on YouTube. So you're welcome. But yeah, I'm sure we'll do some more stuff together as well.
Yeah.
Possibly might have some cool opportunities coming up, which we've spoken about, but
Yeah.
can't say what they are. But if they happen, it will be on the page on the channel.
Yeah.
So make sure you follow JRM Productions on Instagram. Make sure you follow
770 Pods on Instagram. And I think that's my YouTube. I'm not too sure. You can find that out.
But yeah, thank you, bro. Always good
Appreciate
to
it,
talk
man.
to you.
Really appreciate it.
And yeah, we'll see you next time.
See you next time.
Take it easy.
So
Yeah, that was good stuff. Good talk.
when you first told me about this, I thought I was just coming to help you record. Like, I stand behind the camera.
No, people think you genuinely have a problem. The video just started. God's sake. Let's get back
Just
into
go
it.
from what you said.
Yeah, I know.
Videographer.
Okay.
You
were normal for 15 straight minutes.
Oh,
It's too long for you, isn't it?
I don't know if I can shoot a movie. You have to be trying to shoot a movie.
Alright. That would be Anthony.
Hey.
And brought them to. You're such an idiot. You just started laughing when I was talking. God's sake. Alright.